We are live. It is 1:55 Central Standard Time in the United States, 7:55 GMT in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this third day of November. This morning, early, around 2-ish or so, we fell back. Apparently the UK fell back last week or whatever. So we're now on GMT and non-summertime. So for folks that were sleeping through it, you got an extra hour of sleep today. So congratulations on that. And if you had like manual clocks in your house, you had to do all that stuff like on your oven, unless you got a fancy oven, it's like internet connected or whatever. I do not. So you had to change all your clocks back, actually. You still have to do that in my house. About 3 or 4 of them actually have to be manually set back. So
it's frustrating, isn't it?
That's a little bit. You forget about it. And then at the end of the day, we celebrate this falling back by having the captain. Andrew FatProduce has decided to waste an hour. He was never going to get back.
Wasting.
And spend it with this guy. How you doing, sir? Welcome back. It's been a couple of months, and we're glad to see you again. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's great. It's always a pleasure being on here and talking with you guys. Like it's so much fun. So yeah, this is great. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. We're finally in fall now, supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, here in St. Louis, it's low 70s. So I don't know what that is in that Celsius stuff. It's probably 13, 12, 13. I don't know. Do the math. I don't know. Figure it out, folks. You got Google.
We fought a war to make sure we could have our own archaic measuring systems.
That's right. We still use hogs' heads. So go figure. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. So we have feet, inches, miles. They have meters, kilometers, all that stuff. Ironically, though, I think they still use miles. Don't you still use miles for stuff? Don't you, as far as distances?
Oh yeah.
In the UK? Yeah. See, that doesn't make any sense to me. I would figure if it's all metric, it should be all metric, like all mile, nothing, right? It's weird that they use miles still.
You know what? The best unit of measurement is knots, because you know how they did that was back in the age of sail. They just had like this rope and they had knots tied at regular intervals, and then basically they'd run it out behind the ship and they'd time how many went through your hands at a certain time. That's how many knots you were going.
Oh, that's cool. Good to know. I did not. Yeah. Also, the phrase
"the whole captain."
Right. And also, just fun fact, the phrase whole 9 yards has absolutely nothing to do with football, American football. It has to do with the length of a machine gun belt for aircraft back in the day. So when they would shoot at an aircraft, they would tell you to shoot the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay.
That was the length of the belt for the bullet.
Yeah, probably part of the World War II planes where they had them like in the wings.
9 yards. Yeah, it's cool. I thought it was football, but then it didn't make any sense because 10 yards is a first down. So it doesn't make any sense why it was not. I don't know. So there you go. So apparently Jimmy did the math. It's 21 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's about what it is here. So I think we're finally past those 80 degree. We were getting a couple of those. Do you get those too, Joe? Like the unseasonably warm days in like the late fall, where it's like, why is it like
global warming's real, man.
Yeah, well. Yeah, apparently ice ages are too. So who knew, right? We can't figure that out at some point.
It is weird.
But yeah, it's like there was a couple days early last week that was like 83, 82. Wasn't super humid, so it didn't feel terrible. But
but you're just like, okay, I'm the person where I'm not usually a guy who's about what I'm wearing, but most of the stuff that makes me look presentable is for 65 degrees and below. Right. And so I'm ready to have stuff where I can have a jacket and have saddlebags on again.
Right. Or just, like a sweat. I've always felt more comfortable when it's cooler outside. I like having like a hoodie or just like longer pants. I mean, I don't like hot weather generally. I'm just not a hot weather person. I prefer cold. It's just a me thing. My mother was definitely, she could have lived on Mercury and probably been perfectly happy. She loved hotter the better. She loved like heat that was oppressive. Like when you walked outside, it was like super humid and super hot. She just loved that. Oh yeah. She loved that kind of weather. She loved the summer and heat but also she was like big go to the beach person, like to tan a lot, all that kind of stuff. So she was definitely the hot weather person. I've always been a cold weather human. I like.
Well, it's easier to get warm if you're too cold than vice versa.
Right. If you're naked and you're still hot, you're stuck. I mean, unless you're near a body of water.
Go camping in August.
No, I've done that. And if you don't get up out of that tent by 8, it's like literally sweltering. And it's like 85.
If you can get to sleep at night.
Yeah, it sucks. So anyway, So that's weather and all that kind of stuff. Well, hey, so thanks for going. Since we had you on last, did you? I thought you got a new phone. Are you still using the Xperia?
No,
like
I'm still rocking the Xperia. Really,
the Mark V, right?
The Mark V, and it's been going good. I got an update kind of recently, but I think was it the last OS update? Let me see what I'm running right now.
Dan's gone back to the Mark V.
Right. Well, you guys, it's been kind of like for Xperia people, they kind of just generally don't like the Mark VI.
Yeah,
for some reasons. I mean, obviously the aspect ratio. Yeah.
There's a couple of things. Right now I'm running Android 14 on this currently, but but essentially what most of what I've seen is that people are not happy with, because you know how there's like 3 different camera apps.
Yeah.
Or they put them all into one, and they don't have full functionality of what the 3 different camera apps has on the Mark V. So generally, they kind of turn their back on their software stuff that set them apart on the camera app. Essentially, right. I will say, my dad picked up what was it, OnePlus 9 Pro XL, and I gotta say I really like how photos come out of that in auto mode kind of a bit more than my Xperia now. But
the OnePlus 9 the OnePlus 9 Pro was actually, those are really good phones. I actually was on a podcast and Eric had one. He had the OnePlus 12 and then he had the OnePlus 9. You can pick up a 9 Pro for damn near nothing.
Oh, I know.
It's pretty good, and I think it's still getting support for another year, maybe. I have to look it up. I'm not sure.
Wait, this is the OnePlus 9 Pro, you said?
Oh, the OnePlus 9 Pro. Yeah, you said 9 Pro XL, which is the 9 Pro and the 9.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, what? The 9 Pro?
I think you're doing the Pixel 9 Pro. Yeah, and see, this stuff is getting conflated, and I still don't know.
Naming just gets confusing.
That Pro Fold. I don't like that.
Guys, we're going back to the old. We've gone back. We started at the terrible names for Androids. Then we got really good names like HTC One and blah, blah. Then we went back to naming them all after condom names.
Yeah, it's just XL, Grande, whatever.
Now you don't want Fold,
right? And then just we couldn't just call the Pixel 9 Fold.
Right. And it's
just why call it the Pixel 9 Fold. I mean, then this is why I like what Motorola did. They were just like, here's this Motorola Moto X 2013, 2014, 2015, like cars. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's exactly. And I know, like I said, so we've kind of gone back, which is funny because ironically, we kind of look back at the days of HTC. And I'm an OEM that I still desperately miss. I really wish they were still making phones, and LG and all that kind of stuff. But definitely, if all the OEMs could come back, HTC would be my one. If I could, and now they still make phones, but I'm talking about
low end. Yeah,
sense-based UI, sense-based operating system,
flagship.
They make phones like studios make Fantastic Four movies just to keep the license.
Yeah, it's just and I mean, but I still have my HTC 10, and I love that.
Yeah,
God, and even the U12. Yeah, the buttons that weren't buttons that are kind of like haptic. It was weird. But dude, the U12 I thought was really good. I thought it took really good pictures, and it was a good device. But anyway,
I remember they ended up copying, what was it, the LG V10 and V20s, like second little display.
Yeah,
up the top. And I don't know. It's my dad had the 10. I had the 1M8, and like the M9 was just such a terrible. That thing basically killed their business in the United States because they were so precarious anyway. And then after that phone, because of the chipsets, they ended up like getting dropped from carriers, and that was basically the slow death knell for HTC. And they never recovered from that. But before we get kind of into all that techie, phony, stuff we're known for here at the Nomad Tech Project, Joe recently was on another podcast. He's frankly cheating on us. Going on another podcast. No, I'm just kidding. So Joe was on another show, so I'll let Joe kind of talk about all that. So you can and
I've been on a couple, wouldn't I? I always go on with a bunch of phonies, but that's like a regular thing,
right? That's kind of like that's one of our that and the Tech Disruptors. We like to get on there every once in a while.
Yeah. But I was on the Hyperbaric Goats. Now they do film reviews, but they're also currently reviewing Breaking Bad. And they've had a little gap where we did a special show where we just looked at where they're at so far, which is up to season 3. And I joined them, and it was pretty cool. But what was really cool is they made a song for me, which I'm going to attempt to play live now because it's pretty awesome. Made with AI. So you could call the band JTAI if you like.
Sure.
John
It's
Trimmer.
like Jamiroquai, but J-Tie.
J-Tie. Yeah, J-Time. That's a good one. Here we go. I'm going to try and play it from the Vivo. Is that coming out all right? Too loud? Now?
A little bit more.
All right?
A little bit more.
Up.
Yeah, up. A little bit more. One more. Got a real Metallica vibe to it.
I was gonna say it's like Breaking Benjamin.
Breaking Benjamin and Metallica.
Yeah.
A little Dragon Force. Okay. That it's weird. It's like like a Dragon Force and Breaking Benjamin, and then like Metallica. It's like that.
That's awesome.
Well, the problem is that it's clipping because of the audio. Yeah, it sucks. So, okay, what we gotta do? Yeah, I mean it's metal. That's kind of cool, but okay. I can't catch any of the lyrics because it's clipping in and out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you, Sam.
Yeah, send it to me. Yeah, I'll go check it out. So, anyways, apparently we have a song made by Jatai, so that's cool. Yeah, we'll check it out. So, the
hyperbaric goats, they're called.
Yeah.
Hyperbaric goat.
So check them out.
Hyperbaric goats, yeah.
Yeah. So
check them out. They've done film reviews. They've also got an old podcast where they're going through Only Fools and Horses.
Okay.
Which I haven't checked out myself.
So is it always films, or did they do? Obviously, Breaking Bad wasn't a movie, right?
So they're doing Breaking Bad currently, which is a separate podcast. They call it Breaking Bad.
Yeah, goats.
Yeah,
it's funny when you say hyperbaric goats. I just have like an image of like a hyperbaric pressure chamber, just made completely out of goats.
Right. That's what I think.
That could be a thumbnail for them, right?
Yeah. Do they always do? Do they do other TV shows, or is it mostly movies and film?
Yeah, I think they plan to. So, like, I'm pushing for them to then do the other stuff that goes with Breaking Bad. So, Better Call Saul, for example, and the El Camino film. Hopefully, they cover them afterwards because it would be cool.
Yeah, I made a good call in the Breaking Bad when the show was actually on A&E. It was like coming out, and for some reason that was on A&E, which is so weird.
A&E,
wasn't it? Was it on A&E?
No. It was no. It was the same. It was the Walking Dead's channel.
AM.
AMC.
AMC. I was like,
AMC.
AMC. I was like,
yeah,
A&E is going to be like Horatio Hornblower.
Right,
like,
exactly. So it was on AMC.
How did I get it? You guys, and you didn't, Sam.
So I didn't get into the show because it's like a drug show. Like, I don't care. And then what happened was I actually waited till the season, all the shows were done, Like they were all over, and it'd been like actually a couple years. And then I just watched them all the way through, which was kind of nice because I didn't have to wait for seasons. I went from beginning to finale, and I didn't have to wait for I didn't go in the show hole right on it. So and as I was watching it first season, I'm like, wow, this show is phenomenal. Like it was like it's one of the, for me, it's one of the top 5 television shows ever. I mean, just the writing and
the writing is superb. Yeah.
And I didn't think I would get into the show a lot just because of the content. I'm like, I was a police officer. I was like, it's narcotics. I don't care about people cooking. It was just really well done. I mean, I think that it was just, to me, I thought it was really, really good. So I just kind of went through the entirety from season beginning to finale. And I thought it was fantastic. I thought they handled the ending well. I thought there was no like moments where they jumped the shark. Like there were no moments in that show where I was like, okay, this thing needs to be over. Like they jumped the shark. Yeah, I don't know. Are you
can see with that? The last season though, it's a bit more cinematic and more explosions and
got a little Michael Bay on us, but that's cool.
But like the writing necessarily wasn't bad. It's like because it's like like you're talking about jumping the shark, from Happy Days, but like but also it's kind of like my generation kind of redid it where it was nuking the fridge,
right?
With Indiana Jones. So.
Just where you're like, you would have that moment where the show is on its downfall and it just needs to end. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, he deliberately ended it like that, though, because he didn't want it to go too long.
That's right.
Good. And I'm just, like I said, it was really, really well done. So I lucked out. I didn't have to wait for those shows. But yeah, so I'm glad to see that you were on that show. And then, so if you get a chance to check out that episode, folks, look it up. It's Hyperbaric Oaks. Check that out. I haven't had a chance to listen to them lately. Honestly, I've been stuck on an audiobook in the car. So I'm a big fan. And I don't know if you're not a science fiction person. I know Andrew is, so he might be
what? Who, me?
Yeah. So
no way.
There is a book series called the first book was We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And it's about a von Neumann probe. So you can kind of look that up on your own, but it's basically it's a fantastic book series. It's by Dennis E. Taylor. And the reason I like the audiobooks version is because the guy who reads it is Ray Porter, who's got this guy could read a menu and I would listen to every bit of it. So, the new season came out of that book. So they have, there's actually, I think 4 or 5 of them. So if you have ever had a chance to, if you like science fiction, it's a fantastic series. I highly recommend if you're into science fiction, even if you're not.
All right.
My wife loves that series, and she's not a science fiction fan at all, but she absolutely like when that book just came out, she was so excited. She went and listened to the whole book, and I purposely waited a few days to let her listen to it on Audible just because she was absolutely excited that new book came out. So I've been listening to that in the car, so I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts because of my time in the car, but I'm sure I'm going to finish that soon. So check that out. Anyway, so
Bradley Larcher was asking what show we was talking about.
Breaking Bad. That's the show we were talking about.
I think so, yeah. Unless he means the hyperbaric goats.
The
Breaking Bad.
They cover Breaking Bad. So if you look at I guess you have to look at an episode series, but yeah, if you if you're just into reviewing film, that's a really good show. It's good to listen to their takes on stuff, and I've listened to a couple of their shows. I wouldn't say I'm a dedicated listener. I don't have a dedicated podcast. Actually, there's only one I listen to is The Herd by it's a sports. Colin Cowherd. I kind of listen to that pretty religiously.
There's like one channel that I've watched for reaction stuff, and what was it? It's called Target Audience, and they've basically been watching all of Star Trek from beginning to end in broadcast date order. So So they started with the original series, and they've gone through like the animated series, and now they're partway through TNG, but they've been watching like the movies as they in the correct order. And so soon they're going to start mixing shows because there was some overlap with Deep Space Nine and TNG and all of that, and that's interesting. But basically, their whole channel has basically been taken over by Star Trek because there's just so much content.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I guess I'm one of those weird ones. I love Deep Space Nine. I always loved that show. Everybody was like, it's kind of like, no, dude, that show was great. Cisco and all, dude, I love that.
Some great characters in Deep Space.
I just love the fact they were on a space station. They weren't traveling around. It was more about interpersonal stuff and the Ferengi and Cisco. Just really well written. And I also do like Voyager. I know.
Here's a question for you, Sam. If you was in Star Trek, what species would you be?
No, I'd probably be a human. But you know what's funny is that I never noticed in Star Trek, they never go into like anything. They like okay. So here's the thing with me and Star Trek, they have to have, if it's naval, right? They have to have some kind of combat, like a Marines, right? They have to have a Marine Corps, whatever that looks like. No series seems to me like they ever really got, like, I think that would be a spinoff that I could get into.
So the what was it? Star Trek Enterprise with Archer, which is like the prequel show. They had Makos, which were Marines, on board in the last 2 seasons because they were like, yeah, our security forces aren't enough,
right?
So yeah, they brought them. That like it's cool. Like there's some weird stuff with the spandex era of TNG where they were like, well, that's not we're not supposed to fight. But like in retrospect, kind of with all the other shows, Deep Space Nine, and all of that kind of went in. They were like, oh yeah, they were like in this golden era where they were just fooling themselves.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
I would like to see that they never, even in the show, they've really never developed, because the Federation was supposed to be done. But then you see, like, you have movies like the Star Trek with Khan, where they're on a world fighting, like, in a hostile environment, and then you have the Ron. I mean, you can't tell me that they couldn't develop a combat force that were basically, I know you call them whatever you want, right? But everything else goes with USS Enterprise, right? It's all USS ship, right? And they kind of never really kind of dive into the other hemisphere of the naval service, which is the Marine Corps, right? They're combat force.
Yeah, but it's more about exploring, isn't it? Exploring new worlds.
Well, Deep Space Nine had that war, but they had a lot of like the ground stuff because they were, this was the 90s, and they're kind of pulling in some allegories about war and whatnot. But there's also, they were limited in the time about like shooting models, and like they keep in mind, this is the era of like 24 episodes a season. Right. And so they're just like churn this shit out.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, I tell you, the show that I've been really watching and enjoying is For All Mankind. I'm about halfway through. Season 2. Oh, it's so good. Like, and I was worried that, because that's, for people who don't know, it's like a alternate history of like the space race. Basically, the space race never ends. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be the dark timeline. No, it's just like, we live in the dark timeline.
Right.
So
I watched the first. If you watch the first episode, it's trippy because, and I guess I'll just spoil it because probably who cares? You can watch it yourself. But they get to the actual, like, the moon landing, and it's the Soviets. It's so weird the way it's set up. I'm like, what? And they're like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening, right? It's the same setup, but it's like a cosmonaut. And you're like, whoa, and then I lost that. I watched the first season and then I just lost track of it. So I got to get back into it.
I like it. They skip ahead like a decade between seasons.
Right. So cool. I need to get back in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I need to get back into it. It would look pretty cool. That first season was pretty promising, but I think right now we're sidetracked by the difference.
Going back to Star Trek though, I wanted to ask Andrew the same question. What species would you be?
Oh, Andorian. Easy.
Okay.
So it's okay. Nerdy thing about me, when I was beta testing the game Star Trek Online like 10 years ago, I basically created all characters that were blue characters for some reason. But like I had like the antenna because I liked and what was it in was it Enterprise? They had Jeffrey Combs as one of the main, like Shran as one of the primary characters you interact with, but they had these little animatronic like antennae that actually reacted, that they had somebody remote controlling as he was doing his performance, and it was so cool. And I don't have a real like lore reason. I always thought they looked cool.
I
reckon Sam would be Vulcan.
Probably so. I don't know. They're a little too. I don't know. Maybe I probably just a regular dude. I just be a regular dude. I kind of
regular dude.
Yeah, just regular dude. So I always noticed that in the Star Trek series. I never really that never really got developed at all. Like they just kind of never even went anywhere with it, which is fine. I get it.
Another question, right? If you could take any tech from Star Trek, any tech, what would it be?
Transporters, just transporters.
Yeah, transporters the obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah,
replicators.
Yeah.
The problem with replicators, and the Orville actually like addresses this. If we got replicator technology today, we wouldn't be ready for it because the way our society is set up, it would be monetized.
Yeah, big time.
That's the problem. It's like we don't have the wisdom for that technology yet. But so apart from that,
society is not ready for replicators.
Yeah, I would say a tricorder because I would love to have like something that could just easily measure every
So all the
thing I
things.
need.
All
Yeah,
the-
and just have it as like a sonic screwdriver, basically, except it's
Yeah. No, teleportation by far.
Yeah, of course
Watch
that'll
what-
be the.
The problem with
Um,
teleportation, though, is we have the prestige problem. Are you the copy, or are you know what I mean? Are you just
Right.
copied and over? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like
If you could just move
It
people,
basically
like
rips you apart, doesn't it, and then puts you back together.
right. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess my question would be is, but if they could do it like around Earth, that would be great, right? Because then
Yeah.
you got for traveling it'd be great, but then also you have to think about it. It would obviously have a military application.
Like, Lauren, I'm doing Nomad Tech Project with Sam. See you later. Beam me up, Sammy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, just think about it, because we would have, obviously great for travel, right? If you want to get somewhere. But the problem is, of course, as anything on humanity, it would be militarized. So America's ability to have two major oceans separating it logistically could be completely,
Yes.
you can move whole armies literally right into the center
Yeah.
of a major city. So it's
Oh yeah.
it would be a little weird to try to find out. They would have nullification fields and all sorts of weird
So
stuff.
I'd say the medical stuff. Something medical. I'll take.
Yeah.
That one's a big one because like just being able to do like non-invasive stuff,
Yeah.
like a sort of surgeries is interesting.
Mm.
Or having remote surgery, right, where you can just basically they can just be in a chair, and the thing would automatically scan them, know exactly what the cause is.
Yeah.
Make
Even for diagnostics, it'll be.
Yeah.
When you said remote surgery, I just had an image of like an iPad hooked up with like an electronic, like an ROV that they're exploring. That's like they're just
he's like a chew, and it's like
like ow,
it's like
the Wi-Fi, the
decision
disconnected.
It's this way, right? It went all the way across. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, but like I've seen other sci-fi shows that have like a I can't remember the show that I was watching, but basically the gentleman was sitting in essentially a chair, and it identifies what the issue is, if whatever you have, whatever, and it makes the surgical correction, and all one-stop shop, right? Diagnosis, treatment, trauma, recovery. Just that would be pretty cool. I would like that, but yeah, teleportation is probably cool too. So that's all good. Anyway,
says, same question to me. I'd be a shapeshifter of some sort.
Ooh. So here's the thing, though. Ooh. No, never mind. Because if you haven't seen Picard season 3, I'm not going to ruin it for anyone.
Right. No, I would be a Betazoid. I would the mind, that would be kind of cool. I think I could do that.
No,
like the mind. Yeah.
Guys, I got it. I'd be a Horta, the silicon-based like blob form, and I just talk to you guys like the whole time.
I don't know what's going to. He has an Xperia.
Great for podcasting.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what we just know he has an Xperia. The rest of it, we have no idea.
Right? Yeah, I know.
He could be talking about a surgery. He could be farting.
You guys hand it to me, and it just goes.
It's fine. We'd have a translator. It'd be all right. It's fine.
Oh, that would be good. Universal translation. That would be great.
Yeah. Except but I remember in the original series, it was looked like a little lightsaber. You're like, hold this little stick,
stick it in their face.
We've kind of got there though for translation, right?
I mean, yeah, I think we've done a pretty good. I mean, Google translates. I mean, obviously with regional dialects and slang, it's obviously kind of a little rough around the edges. But I think that's the first real technology that would really help it to be like where it would be all languages real time, regardless of
it's a lot harder to other people that way. If you don't speak the same language.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's like if you could have that, the fact that we have these generative models, and that's what's kind of exciting about this AI thing, right? All the things it can do, right? All the things that but of course, as anybody who's watched a Terminator movie knows, right? I mean, it's like, and the problem is the reason why those movies are so popular is because a lot of people really have concerns about. Yeah, those kinds of misapplications, as it were, right? Find ways to be weaponized and monetized in a negative way. So I think that's, and of course, obviously, there's no laws because obviously, just like it's like guns in the United States, you can make all the laws you want, but there's nobody to enforce said laws. It kind of falls short, right? I mean, we're going to have all these rules about AI, but some people are just going to say, you know what? I'll take the consequences of my decision. I'm just going to go.
So it's going to be like Judge Dredd, though. AI is the law.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, it's a little bit more dystopian. It really isn't even AI driven. That's just more of a societal model where basically one person is essentially judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah.
That is more. That's not even AI. That's just more of like. Actually, I think funny thing is, the world of the Demolition Man world is kind of funny, right? Seeing, those kind of things where, and it's funny how people have made, and online, if you want to look it up, you can, but people have made corollaries to how they're talking about, a world where nobody can cuss, right? Nobody can say anything negative. Everything is kind of like very safe, right? Everything's kind of like boiled, and like they, Assistant Bob.
Joe, he doesn't know about the 3 seashells.
Right, exactly. Who knows, right?
Sorry.
But anyway.
You have to watch the movie. That's like the joke of like, they replace toilet paper with seashells.
Right. I think it does ring a bell, actually.
And they never really explain it. And it's just like these fan theories on what exactly, like how, whatever. Do you actually sit on the seashells? Do you touch the seashells in a pattern? Like nobody really knows, right? And they never explain it. And it's just kind of funny. I just like the fact that it's really one of the, I think, honestly, in the 90s and even 2000s, I think it's one of the best action movies that actually has a real comedic bend to it. A lot of the stuff in there is just so funny. The moments when, he's with the Sandra Bullock character and they're trying to, he's like having the burger down and he's like, you see any cows around here? He's like, rat. This is a rat.
Great era for movies.
Yeah. And it's just hilarious because you could tell he loves it. Like he's so excited because he smells the cooking. And he's like, oh, everything's great, right? And he's like, oh, and he's eating it and he's into it. And he's just like, you see any cows around here, dude? And he's like, no. He goes, that's a rat burger.
But it's all in the background of like
nice.
Taco Bell won the fast food wars, so every restaurant is Taco Bell.
And these like super bougie little kind of like little portions of like little corn and a little tortilla. Yeah, it's just hilarious. But just watching that scene where he's slowly realizing it's not a hamburger, it's literally made out of rat, and he's like, yeah, I don't care. It tastes pretty good. Like,
yeah, exactly. If it tastes good, I'm eating it.
But just and honestly, to be honest with you, Wesley Snipes in that movie, the Simon Phoenix character is probably one of the most criminally underrated villain action characters probably in movie history. Simon Phoenix is incredible. The way he plays that role. There's only one other role that I think is better in a movie, which would be Heath Ledger's Joker. You can come at me all you want. That performance in that movie is literally the greatest performance by an actor in a character role in what I would consider a villain role in an action style movie. Heath Ledger's Joker is stupid. It's so far better than anything. It's not even to me. It's not even close. Again, hot take. Come at me if you want to. If you can come up with something better, I'd love to hear it. But as far as I'm concerned, for me, that performance. Every time I watch that movie, I've watched clips of the Joker, like the scene where he makes the pencil disappear. Dude, come on. The interactions with Batman, the interactions with the gangs, interactions with, Gordon.
But a lot of that's also, it's really good with Heath Ledger's was really, really excellent in his performance. And then also a lot of his writing. Like the one I think, though, mainly because I had this movie on while I've been cleaning, is Alan Rickman's performance as the Sheriff of Nottingham. And the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. He looked like he had so much damn fun doing that.
Yeah, but that Robin Hood version with Kevin Costner.
Talking of Robin Hood, it's all about Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh yeah, that's better.
That's a great film. Lend me your ears.
Right.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. Like I said, that's what that is. But yeah, the Heath Ledger's performance in that movie is just fantastic. It's all good. So when he was the nurse, when he's walking down the street, he's just like, he's just totally messed up. Yeah, he's just completely, it's great. Anna's on the chat. That's my she is on Twitch. She's the only one that ever joins on Twitch. I think we have one other person that joins on Twitch. She always joins on Twitch for some reason, which is great. Down in Sutherland, yeah. And his son, Kiefer, is pretty good too, I would have to say. Yeah. Maggie Smith, yep. Dame Maggie, is it Dame Maggie Smith? I think it's what it is. Yeah, so it's all good. So, anyway, we're back to, we're into the talks of phones, right? So we're into the S25, right? Those leaks rumors are starting to have the OnePlus 13. We're getting the next Snapdragon chip, so we're kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say we need to go back a step to 8 Elite first. Quite impressive if it rings true what they've said, the 40% for efficiency and stuff.
It's like efficiency for me. Honestly, at this point, I don't even care about raw processing power. I just want efficiency. That's all.
That's why I said the efficiency piece, because that's the bit that really struck me. I was like 40% more efficient. Okay,
that's huge if they can do that. Also, we're starting to see, what was it in that? Was it the Vivo foldable where they have like this new ultra thin battery technology where they can fit more milliamps in like a thinner package?
That's crazy as well.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, man. We're getting some good stuff, I think. Well, let's see. It sounds like it's going to be good. Like, because if the efficiency is 40% better and the OnePlus 13 is meant to have around 6,000 milliamp, that's 1,000 milliamp more nearly than the 12. The 12 was really good battery life. So how good is the 13 going to be?
I'm so excited. That along with flat screens.
Flat screen.
Thank God, because
that faux leather blue.
Yeah,
it looks nice, man.
Yeah, I tell you, it's. I'm so happy to see people moving away from curved glass because it's just been the worst. It's also just it's more expensive for people because of screen protectors. You can't get the cheap glass screen protectors that are nice.
Jermaine got the 13 wallet.
His wallet's empty,
including his soul for the next year. He sold his soul to get the OnePlus 13, right? So he's going to be.
That's all right, Jermaine. It'll be worth it.
He doesn't like the blue because the silver accents don't work. I actually have to take a look at I haven't actually taken a look at the.
Yeah, I can.
Here, I'll send a link here.
Yeah, we have to.
Because the black isn't a plain black as well. That's what I like about it. It's like an ash sort of look.
Sorry,
you've seen it. Shove it on the screen, Sam.
I'm gonna try to.
I just sent the link to you guys.
Okay, yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
Ooh, that white looks good. I like the blue, but I'm a sucker for like a white phone as long as they're like, because I love the iPhones that were like white, but the problem is you put them on the freaking white on the front.
All right, let's see. So there's the blue. Yeah, I can.
I see what Jermaine's saying about the contrast of the silver.
That was so if that was blue and black,
I like white phones too.
Yeah, so 6,000 milliamp, 100 watt wireless charging, whatever. Ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Yeah, there's the flat screen.
Ultrasonic.
Cool.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah,
It
I
does
don't
not
know, man. It's well, I like the fact that this black, see, it's textured.
That's what I was going to say to you. See, like the ash type of look.
Yeah, and see, that's just plain white. But if this were blue, but it had like a I mean, it's leather, so I guess that's got going for it. But if they had more of it like a striation or a texture in there, that would be pretty slick. I would like that. Also, I would think that this would look better with a gunmetal gray or black frame. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I would probably get the black one or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the black. The black nice.
Yeah, that to me is a pretty good look. I do care about that. That looks pretty cool. Like I like this standard black.
It's not boring black though, right? It's
so
nice.
In the black Secret Realm and Blues Hour colors with more Dew Dawn. I mean, come on, can we just call it fucking black? I mean, can we stop super pretentious names like, oh, it's not, it's Dew Dawn. Like, just get fucked. It's
yeah. They love that. I know people who come up with these color names really, but one of the hiring like criteria on the resume must be loves the smell of their own farts.
Yeah.
Well, Samsung had awesome, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just come on.
Yeah, it's like
just call it blue, black, whatever.
Awesome,
green,
blue,
orange.
Well, here's the thing about these though.
Tangerine, if that makes fine, fuck, that's cool. But can we just stop with the stupid names?
Well, and I think with this, the colors matter less. Because when I was reading this article, they're talking about how they have incentives for people to buy these specific first-party cases because the first-party cases are what's going to provide like the magnetic like aspects of the wireless charging because they didn't adopt Qi 2 for this one.
Not many people have. Not many OEMs have so far,
which is dumb.
Yes.
but why? But like they elected not to do that to specifically make you buy accessories. Which also de-emphasizes the colors.
That's poor, man.
So, oh well. Sorry, don't mean to be a party pooper.
That's all right. Well, I mean, it's obviously it's something that,
needs to be called out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, companies are still going to try to, kind of artificially kind of manufacture a need to try to buy accessories or whatever. And it's just, we really need to just kind of like it's just like on the back. I bought this case and I bought this Pixel and it's MagSafe. I never used a MagSafe because I don't own one. But if I did, I just I'm on the boat with Juan. Like I just don't use wireless charging that much.
No,
I just don't. I mean, like if I'm at work, I have a little charger for my phone, but here's the thing. Maybe I'm the weird work person. I'm not on my phone a lot at work. I'm too goddamn busy to be on my phone fucking around Instagram or Facebook or any of this other shit or looking at sports scores or playing a game. I don't have time. Like literally my phone at home, when I'm at my work, my phone literally sits on my desk face down.
Sam, even for work stuff, right? You got a work phone. Do you prefer to go on a back of house PC and do your work there? So if if I have to send an email, I can do it on the work phone, right? But I still like to go down to my office and send it with a keyboard and.
Right. Well, I when it comes to my work phone, I have an iPhone 13, and I do not send very rarely will I send an email from my phone. It's when I'm at work, it's always from Outlook. It's always from my PC. It's always from a work email, and just it's. I do. My line of work is kind of set up where when I'm responding to specific vendors or agencies or whatever, or people, it has to be formatted a certain way. And on the phone, it just doesn't. It just doesn't look right.
Signatures don't want to show up.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right, and so it's very rare. Now, if I'm in a pinch, I will, and I have before, but I could think it might have been a handful of times in the last 10 years where I've actually sent an email from my phone. On my personal side, if I'm using my Fold, I will probably do it more often because I can open it up and actually type. I got more of a canvas for doing that. But as far as like if I'm on my Pixel doing it, I do in a pinch. Again, I'm in a pinch, but like you're right, I will go down. If I'm at home and I'm in my office or whatever, I will just come to my computer to do any of that kind of stuff. Even for if I'm browsing something, I'll just do it from my computer. It's just a lot easier.
That was a good point there, Sam, right? Live streaming, like watching a live stream on a foldable device is awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Cool people in the chat there.
I know. Yeah, all the great people, Jimmy and all that, and Brad and all. Yeah, we got a great. And I saw, Jermaine's in the chat, Devin's in the chat. We got a lot of people. So, yeah, like I said, the experience of content creation, content consumption on a foldable is, again, if you're a person who wants durability and doesn't want to have a foldable because it's bulky and silly, okay, fine, you run your slab. But if you're like me, who really likes to do different kinds of stuff or content, like watching a live stream or split screen stuff every once in a while, it's the Fold is the way to go. I mean, and I will take the durability issues. And here's the thing: if you have a foldable, get some kind of insurance. If you have it through a carrier, get Assurant, if you whatever, or if you buy the Fold through Google, like the Fold. Their folds, go ahead and do that. And get that, because I'm telling you, if you have a screen failure, well, then you're covered, right? And then who cares, right? If you open it up and the screen blows up, you're fine. And LG Wing, tell you, I used to have the Wing, and it was great. I used to sit there like this, and I'd be kind of leaning back. I would hold I'd tee it out, and I would have the bottom held because you could lock it out. And I would just sit there and just kind of like have my arms folded, laid in bed, and just kind of holding it because I wasn't touching the screen. That's nice. It was great for that kind of thing. I thought the LG Wing really was a pretty cool piece of tech. And I'll tell you, nothing freaked people out more than kicking that screen out in front of them. That freaked people out. Like, because when you look at the phone, first of all, nobody really looks at the phone anyway. Like regular normal people, they don't pay attention. It's not an iPhone, they don't really care. But when you sit there and you're like this and you go and that thing goes click.
What just happened?
They're just like, holy shit, did that phone just swivel? Are you kidding me? Like, it was so, if you would just do it in front of people, just buy the phone just to do it and just have fun with it. It was like, so cool. But now, was it the great, now was the most applicable thing? And did they use all the tech and did all the things work? No, but the gimbal mode was pretty cool. Like using the camera was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's some pretty cool, neat features with it. And obviously it never got baked in. But even when I use my Duo, I open it up, or my foldable phone, and you get people kind of are aware of foldables now, and flippables are kind of more normals, are kind of they know they exist, right? But dude, that Wing would literally, people look at me like, what the fuck is that? Like, they had no idea how to handle any of that shit. It freaked them out. And I would just get it, in the pop-up camera, but dude, I would get a Wing just to walk around and go, just flicking it out in front of people, and they'd be like, "Dude, what planet is this guy from? What is that? Is that a phone?"
So
I remember
OnePlus 7 had to pop up.
Yeah, OnePlus.
Oh yeah, that
and,
okay.
and one of the Xiaomi's, I think, I can't remember which one of the Xiaomi's. I think one of the Xiaomi, I think it was the Mi 9 or Mi 9.
And Oppo had the Find X, the whole back sort of come up, didn't it?
So the coolest thing, because I had the OnePlus 7 Pro, and the coolest one of the random like benefits of having that pop-up camera was it was really easy to tell what websites and apps like surreptitiously used your
Use the camera.
Because every time I go into eBay, it would be like, I'm like, why are you doing that, eBay?
Why are you popping up?
You don't need to see me, eBay. I'm just
that's
here browsing.
A good point, man.
I'm just here browsing for lube. You don't need to see me. I'm just saying.
Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so it's like it was weird, but I love that phone. Except it was probably one of the better phones of when did it come out? Like
2019? 2018. I don't.
It's a lifetime ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those years ago.
Great
so,
phone,
yeah.
though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, probably the best OnePlus. Probably one of the most. Well, I don't know about the best OnePlus. I think the 12 is pretty great. I think, but for the time, I think the OnePlus 7 definitely has that place in people's hearts.
It's the nostalgia berries are higher. The member berries are so much more with that one. I feel like because that was like before they started getting pushed back because before the Oppo, not Oppo, whatever. Yeah, like before Color OS came in.
Yeah.
Right, was Oxygen. Yeah, so the release date.
Oxygen, yeah.
Is it the pinnacle that like they had the speed that everyone knew about? The price was still low.
I got it right. May 16th, 2019 was the relaunch date.
Well done.
That's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
There's a really cool thing I found for you. I'm just gonna share with you guys. It's like a phone size comparison. We've seen those before, but on GSM Arena they have like 3D ones. So they have the models.
Ooh.
To compare them.
I like GSM Arena.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their stuff's good. I like their reviews and how detailed they are.
Yeah.
Let me see. Present.
Like when they do the speaker reviews, when you actually can see the graphs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's one Bagnell level.
Right.
Oh, look at that. That's actually really nice. I like that.
Right?
Yeah, well, you can kind of just you can kind of see, there's a headphone jack. There you go. You can go
that's really good to see all the way around.
Well, yeah. You can see the phone. And then I guess if you want to change it up, I guess you could.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I've done compares before with, and that's kind of cool because then you can change the colors out.
What?
Yeah, so if you want to look at different colors, you can kind of see different colorways.
Just for nostalgia, you could look back and look at old devices.
Then you can compare the specs. Yeah, 3D size compare. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. That's brilliant.
Compare with, let's see. Let's do, well, I don't know. Nothing phone.
I mean, I feel like we could do a whole show just on this website.
Yeah, see there, you can kind of like see the phones kind of side by side, and then you can kind of compare thicknesses. You can look at the bottom and like, okay, cool. And then, see if there's a button. There's the nothing phone.
It's seamless as well, isn't it? It's like really fluid.
Yeah. I'm just holding my finger. I'm just getting the button down and just kind of move. Now, if you let it go, it'll go on its own. If you just let it.
Yeah, you want it to lock though.
It kind of just does. It does its own thing. If like you go to the next one, it can see different ways. But when you click on this and hold it, you can maneuver it in any axis you want. Well, that's kind of cool. And then changing the phone, you can compare it with anything. So.
You just can't. I just checked. Nothing that's leaked out is showing up. They haven't modeled those yet.
Oh, I didn't type it out. Say 9 Pro. Yeah. So then, if you want to, I'm curious how it's going to do it with a foldable. So there you go.
Okay.
They kind of fold the phone in kind of like a.
It'd be good if you could click on it and open it and close it.
No, I don't think so.
That'd be good though, wouldn't it?
But you can kind of see as far as like how tall it is. But yeah, that's the only thing I was curious with the foldable.
Because the thickness there, you can't see.
I have to do this just because it's just too. Oh, I got to try it with the Duo. I see.
Oh, yeah. Yes, do it.
So let's see.
You should put the Duo.
Oh, it's not going to do it. They didn't do a scan of it. They're probably going to do only contemporary devices.
If they did, it would have to have like a crack in the back, and the USB-C port would have to be a bit
broken at the bottom. Yeah, all that stuff. Right, here's your. If you want to do an S24 Ultra, that's kind of cool. There you go. You can kind of see.
It's got the S Pens like shutting out like that.
Right.
It's like here's a banana for scale.
Yeah.
Titanium orange. So yeah, I mean, you can do all the colors, man. You can do violet. Ooh.
Yeah. Somebody asked in the chat about the community edition of the 2A that glows in the dark.
Yeah. That looks
Really?
quite cool.
Watch this. It's like uranium glass. That would be kind of great.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of and for those in the foldable community, the fold, the 6, the SE or whatever this is, they have like a foldable for. I guess right now it's in Korea only. It's the new foldable. It's the I guess it's a SE. So it's a Aura. Is it the SE? What I can't remember. Oh, Shane was talking about it, and I can't remember what he called it. I watched the video and I'm drawing a blank on it. But it's basically an updated version of the Pixel Fold 6.
Z Fold SE, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, Z Fold SE, and it's like in Korea only right now. So it's kind of cool. So
interesting.
Yeah, so a little bit better. I did see the community edition. I actually looked it up, and it looks like a pretty good deal. Not too expensive. If you're into the nothing phone situation, you might want to check that out. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I think so. So
Nothing phone freeze next, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. And they're just constantly, doing all the updates and the stuff. I do like the fact that Carl Pei gets on and he seems like they're a lot more community focused. I really kind of do appreciate the fact that they are taking some direct feedback. That's kind of nice. And you're going to have to if you're starting a phone, I think. But I just worry about its longevity, right? Can they get enough traction to stay in the game? It's just like, I don't know, man. In the United States, without a carrier deal, it's just not going to happen. So
yeah. I mean, look at Sony. Like, they've been doing this for years, and now they pulled this Mark 6 out of the United States. Like, you just can't survive in North America, or at least the United States, without carrier support.
Right. Or not even carrier support, but in the carrier.
Right.
I can tell you right now, I don't have the 9 Pro Fold because it's not available on AT&T. If that phone were available, I would have traded out this Fold 5. Like, it would have been.
I don't have it either because I have this instead.
Right. Well,
right.
Yeah, North America. Okay, good luck with that.
Well, and the other thing too is like all these carriers that do all the carriers, but also manufacturers that do these like trade-ins, trade in your old phone. Well, if you have like I have my Xperia, they don't. You can't even pick Sony, or anything. It's so
when it's not in the list, you're like.
I know, it's like this phone is with like a mortgage payment,
Yeah,
like,
come on, take it off me.
Yeah, it's just like I said. That's the problem too. Is AT&T offered every phone in the Pixel lineup and Samsung lineup, but they did not offer the 9 Fold. I can understand why. I guess they didn't get sales for the first one and everything else, but other carriers do. Like I can get on T-Mobile, I can get it on another carrier. I can buy it directly from Google, but then I got to spend $1,500, which I just don't want to do. Especially considering the fact that I'm stuck with this, so I'm just gonna have to stay with this for a while.
Well,
like I said,
I'm holding hope for the OnePlus Open 2 for you, Sam. That's what I'm holding hope for.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly.
You're telling me you wouldn't jump on that?
If I could get it, yeah, but it's not going to be available. Like I said, for me, I guess I could, but I would have to get rid of the Fold 5. I can't. It cannot cost justify having 2 foldables. It just
no, you can't. There's no point.
That's why I keep this, because this is mine. This 8, I bought this, so I'm good. But I mean, really, honestly, between and then so having the flippy and then the foldable and then a slab phone when I need it, it's kind of nice because I just can't. I can't justify having 2 foldables. I'm not about that life. I know a lot of people are. They can, they're testing them or whatever. They're reviewing them, stuff like that. I don't review phones and I'm not going to. So it's cool.
Captain,
but yeah.
What games are you playing at the moment?
What games? Gosh. Oh gosh. I've kind of gone back and forth recently. Like, okay. I play Fortnite with multiplayer with my friends because that one's kind of
it's a fun one.
It's a fun one, and also my palms don't sweat when I play it usually.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more like low key. But other things I was kind of getting into, for Halloween, I was replaying Doom 3.
Oh, nice.
Like the one that was like monsters jump out of the closet scary, and
was you playing in a dark room?
I did, but the problem is I realized I played it so much 20 years ago that I still have everything memorized. And so I'm like, oh, okay. It's kind of like
It's like Mortal Kombat. You remember all the moves. You haven't done them in 20 years, but you
got the walkthrough.
Yeah. It's just it's baked into your head. Just like if you get some of them, you kind of figure them out as you play. It starts to come back to you.
Yeah, it's like I did try some VR Alien Isolation, and I was like, okay, I need to be wearing brown pants for this shit.
Right.
Yeah, because it was and I'm like, and I realized I'm like, this is why I don't like playing Amnesia or any of those, because I want to be able to shoot back, even if it's just to make me feel good.
Right. Well, I'll tell you right now, nothing was as freaky as playing Silent Hill back in the day.
Oh yeah,
the original Resident Evil though. I thought that was quite fun.
Yeah,
there was one where I was playing one night, and I remember which Silent Hill it was. I can't remember. It was one of the newer ones. I don't remember. And all I know is it sounded like it was I had a pretty good sound system. So it was on the left channel, and it said somebody said something, and I was just like, dude, I swear to Christ, that person was sitting next to me in my room.
Dude, it was like back of your neck.
It made me. It startled me to the point where I dropped the controller, and I swear to God, to this day, somebody was sitting in the room with me. That's how awesome that was, and it just I was like, okay, this is.
Like your mind does strange things, so you could feel the breath, even though it wasn't there.
It ripped out, man. But Silent Hill was it's an underrated. I mean, those games, I can't believe that they did not catch on, because as far as the horror genre, I mean. And
imagine doing that with VR now.
Oh, dude, that's stupid.
Well, it's funny. Like Doom 3 was supposed to have a VR, like it has a VR port for the BFG edition, which is like they changed certain things about the game. But originally, because I was reading the History of the Future a while back, which is about Palmer Luckey and the VR and Oculus development. But originally, when they were going to do the Oculus was going to be released before Facebook came in and bought them. But they were working with like John Carmack, and they were going to try and get a version of Doom 3 with VR support released with the Rift, Oculus Rift, when it came out. But then that kind of went away, and then they brought it back back with Doom 3 where you could do it. But it's like that game was like perfect for VR.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's just interesting that you couldn't mod the old game, but you could get the BFG version. Like they finally did it like 10 years later, put in VR support. So
yeah, I want to be Mario. I want to play as Mario.
Yeah, you'd be good. No, you know what? It's like one of the simple pleasures of playing Left 4 Dead 2 is the community mods, and like I have a billion of them, and it like changes everything. So it's like all of the common infected are just like Zoidbergs going, whoop, 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 as they're coming at you, and like they're like, and it's like I've forgotten which was, because I only play it with specific people, and so I've forgotten, and all of the hunters, which like they jump at you, and they make noises, they go through the air and pounce on you. Well, I changed it to a xenomorph mod, but I forgot every single time. I had another mod that every single time they leap, it just goes. It's like Michael Jackson going,
Yeah, that's funny.
Stuff surprises me every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
good.
yeah,
I need to see that. I want you to film that for me.
I should. It is.
And hot take, The Last of Us, I cannot get into that game. Everybody loves it. I'm like, I can't get into it. I just
What about the TV show?
Well, I don't even watch the TV show. But
oh man, you need to give that a watch.
I don't watch TV. I mean, so it's fine. Like I said, the game, I'm like, it's not bad. It's not like groundbreaking to me. And I do play Fortnite with Anna every once in a while, but we play, it's the zero build, because of that building shit.
Oh yeah, same here.
And there was like quads or trips or doubles. We do actually pretty good, considering the fact that I'm not very good. She's really good because she plays all the time. I mean, I don't know. And she plays a game called Naraka, but she wants me to get into it. I'm like, I don't have any time for that shit. Like, I don't even play Fortnite. What's funny is, I got into, because this is what happens when you read an article about a new either expansion pack or whatever. I swear, if you get past the graphics, Astroneer, God, it's such a fun game. God damn, dude, you don't realize, dude. And here's the problem with Astroneer: there's so much shit to do. Like, you get so overloaded, like, okay, I got to get this, but I needed this to do this. And like, okay, well, and then you get sidetracked and you forgot what you're working on. So do I want the thruster? Do I want the hydrazine? Do I want this? Oh, I got to do this. Oh shit, I got to have this. I got to move this here. It's nuts, dude. You're constantly like having to just, and it's, the graphics are real cartoony.
So you have like a pen and pad and you're like organizing your game.
Well, you have to, because sometimes you get so distracted. You have to have a list of like what you were doing, because I've sat there and I'm standing
prioritize,
and I'm like, I just forgot what the fuck I was. What am I going to do?
No, it's like I have a hard time playing games where I'm like, oh my god, I need to make sure I'm on my ADHD meds.
Yeah, sandbox games are great, but there's sometimes it's like considering the fact you can do whatever you want and they can completely go. It's just like it's there's so much to do, and again, if you can get past the computer, like the kind of
sounds too overwhelming for me.
And really, honestly, the control scheme on PS4 or PS sucks. I've never feel 100%. I've been playing this game for a long time, and I still never. I misgrab stuff, knocks things off, disconnect shit, jump. It's the control.
Always blaming the tools, Always.
It's not a tool. That's not a tool. What are you fucking Freddy Craddock?
That's what Paul Workman does, isn't it? Blames the tools.
Yeah, it's a fucking rolling pin. That's not a tool, right? Anyway, so, but yeah, that's so. And then, well, apparently they're coming out with, I guess, the first and only expansion in that game on November 13th. They're adding another world and stuff. So I was like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. So I like Astroneer, and actually I was in Diablo, the new Diablo, Vessel of Hatred came out, and I've been playing that. But I've literally this whole weekend I've been off and stuff and taking some time off from work. I've been just crushing Astroneer all day long. It's crazy fun. I love that game. I forgot how much I missed, and I had to start over from scratch, and I forgot how much I missed that game. It's just really, really cool. If you like sandbox games, it's on a space world, and again, the graphics are kind of cartoony and stuff. That's what I think people get like tripped out about. But man, I'm telling you,
I think that was on the Game Pass. I actually have it on my Switch. I forgot I even bought it on my Switch. I've never played it on the Switch. But dude, I love that game. I forgot how much I really enjoyed. I haven't gotten into a game that hard in a while. Like I was like, dude, all I want to do is I don't want to play anything else. Like I'm not playing World of Warcraft. I'm not playing Diablo. I'm not playing anything else. I'm just like crushing this Astroneer game like nuts. It's pretty crazy. So that's my game right now. So anyways, that's it. Well, unfortunately, folks, I've got a hard stop here.
I just realized the time.
Yeah, 1,500 hours. And of course, this is why we always have Andrew on, because these shows, we always have something to talk about, always have great conversations, always have good feedback. And this hour, we're at an hour 2 minutes. And
flies by.
I know. Quantity of speech is not something I struggle to attain. So
no, neither am I. And like I said,
Sam, I feel like we need to make AI songs for our guests. I
think we need to as well.
We'll have goats to set a bar there.
Make it a polka.
Yeah. We can do that. And then I'm also maybe cut them down to like a minute, and maybe have like the intro music on when I actually cut the audio version of it. Have the intro music for our guests.
Yes, I love it.
I can figure out how to do that. Maybe the hyperbaric goats can show me how to work on that, because I can figure it out. But every guest we have on, literally try to do some kind of some show theme,
special track for them. We'll make it a minute long or something like that.
Right, or I get the 30 seconds where I do the intro, the music that's been on every show that I do. And so maybe in season 4 we'll change it up. We'll start actually having AI generated music for all our guests, or change it up every once in a while. So that was pretty good. I like the fact that they did that. It's weird. It had like a Breaking Benjamin Metallica kind of vibe.
I was like, I'm young again.
Yeah,
he wasn't expecting that, was he? He was not expecting that.
The guitar riffs are a little basic-ish, but I do like it. It was pretty good. So AI generated, we should try that out. So that'll be our foray into AI, right? Music for our show. Just come up with crazy stuff, right? So hopefully it won't get copyrighted, and if it does, we'll take it down, but who gives a shit? It's not like we're monetized. It doesn't matter.
Hyperbaric goats for Christmas #1.
Absolutely. So check that show out. Also, make sure that you check out show sponsor, extremeskins.co.uk. You'll check them out. Get your stuff, skin your shit. Do all that kind of stuff. They got deals. Check them out. Obviously it's
a good Christmas present, actually.
Great Christmas present. Tell me sent you, and and just let them know. And it's Sam I am AI generated Sammy am. Sam. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, Sam AI. Okay.
Aditya's got a lot of A's and I's in his name.
I know.
Surname and first name.
Right.
Is Aditya real?
He is real. He's real
AI generated. No, we've had him on as a guest. He's not AI.
He's just existed in the internet, and is he's in energy form.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric's in the chat. Sorry, we're about ready to wrap it up, Eric. I was with Eric. We need to find some time and get Eric on Tech Preacher. We got to get him on as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a while, and we need to get him on as well because he's also a really great guest, great guy. Love his content. Been a fan of his channel for more years than I could probably.
Next week we've got a guest lined up.
Yeah, we have Sean. Yeah, Sean P's coming on. For folks you probably don't, if you're not, I really don't pay attention to Gigi and the Sean stream and all those kind of guys. So he's always in that group when we do the those channels. He's been on Barry Johnson's channel. He's pretty great. No, you're not. You're like, actually, we got off real early today, so actually you're right on time. This is when we were normally going off, so you actually jumped on right at the right time. So you're not late. We're just early. Yeah. So we will reach out to Eric and have him on because, like I said, he's one of my favorite creators. I really enjoy his content. I've always, like I said, been a huge fan. Sean P's coming on. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I did tell Sean that there's no profanity worries here, so he let it rip. It's all good. So it's going to be a great show. We'll have him on next Sunday, and then we'll try to see if we can get some other guests. Like I said, we try to get Eric on and some other folks, and try to have a good rounding out to the year and get you into the Christmas holiday and all that kind of stuff. So. Anyways, Andrew, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? We're going to obviously have him on soon as well. He's always a lot of fun to have Andrew on.
Hell yeah. I'm happy to be on whenever you guys ask. I'm absolutely game. This is just a blast to be able to come shoot the shit with y'all.
Cool. We do it. And Joe, nice hair. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Got a colic and everything. See, every once in a while, Joe is not ready to go with his hair. So that was almost worth the show right there, folks. There you go. So check him out on Hyperbaric Goats. Also check out that channel, subscribe to it. Also check out Jermaine's in the chat. Go check out everybody else. Obviously, Tech
bunch of phonies. Give them all some love. Join their streams when you can. Tech Disruptors. Join their streams. Always like their content. Give them some feedback and just let them know they're good people. And also we enjoy their content. We love what they do. So. That's it for the show for today, and we will be back next Sunday with Sean P. We're going to go off at probably our regular 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock time. Hopefully that we should be all good. And live long and prosper, whatever that thing is. And for myself, for Andrew, and for Joe, thanks for coming on. Don't be a dick. Enjoy your tech. Try to be a good human being, and we'll see you next Sunday here on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Take care. Love you guys. Bye, everybody. Spider-Man, right? Bye.